Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Whoa. Now, we will, of course, we're hopping and popping, locking and dropping this Monday morning as Walpurgis Night has passed us by, and a whole bunch of my friends are out doing their whole May Day thing, and not in the surrendery variety, you know. We are all right here in the wonderful realm where the corn sometimes grows, but the corn sharks are always ready. Before we get into it, huge shout out as always to my man, my friend, my brother from another mother, Mr. Joe Bachman, because he is not only the sponsor of our show, but the creator of the indecd.org, the single one-stop shop for your author creative needs. Man, my backdrop is getting cranky. It's almost like I'm up to something. Anyway, Joe is the one man we can expect to be there to help us have a presence online. We're in a realm where deplatforming and tech issues are burdening us. Shady, underhanded things like Facebook suddenly deciding not to work with StreamYard. So if you're on Facebook, I would not be surprised if I don't get your comments today. It looks like I'm only getting YouTube comments because it seems StreamYard and Facebook are not talking. If Facebook doesn't want to allow me to stream to them through StreamYard, I'll hotlink to Facebook and I will stream through other services that are happier to see me if need be. We're coming in hot and ready. But meanwhile, how do I keep my presence online? Indecd.org. We need to get that out there because it helps everybody, including the new people coming in. But there are other ways to contact me, other ways to support this program. Now, as always, if you wish to give a cheerful, any amount of money to help me keep the lights on in the program, paypal.me/Nicholas Tockert. Yes, because a lot of this stuff is just sponsored by me. Joe keeps the lights on, I keep everything rolling, and somebody's got to feed Lydia's insane amount of undead horror children. And I'm not saying that as a negative. Don't. The Shoggoth is technically a horror by like Magic the Gathering cards. Maybe some bootlegs need to happen. Lydia, what do you think? We'll see. I gotta be careful. I don't want to incur the wrath of the Pinkertons. If you know, you know. If you don't, feel free to hit me up. But my stuff is brought to you by The Simple Sword, the one-stop, easiest way to go from. So you've never held a sword too. I want to pass my skills on to the next generation. the follow-up, the fighting axe, and the simple spear, plus so much more. I am writing a lot on this series in the background. We are just weeks from the next huge upgrade in facilities and my plots, where you'll get to see what my duck feet under the water have been so busy working at. I am excited. And other things I'm excited about is the Big Stompy Robots core rulebook. This is your intro to the universe of Big Stompy Robots. We're currently 2 novellas, 2 versions of this game, a third coming out, and some other things I'm not ready to talk about, but friends, colleagues, listeners of all ages and stages, we need to get in on this because gaming should be fun, cheap, and easy to do. So, with most of that, look at my other games too. Melee is still up there after 20 years, and I am doing some RPG goodness. Feel it in your soul, friends. Which, if the world works right in any way, shape, or form, I may be working on today. It's so good. I'm feeling great. I'm revitalized. I'm still, dealing with the con season is upon us and the rebirth is moving. I can feel the power of the spring court coursing through what's left of my shattered and broken nerves to keep this bizarre amalgamation of insanity toddling forward on its one-man mission to help others get up one more level. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to make you famous. I don't want to make you rich. There are other folks who can claim such things. I just want to see you level up one step better. One step ahead of the long man. But we've talked about me. We've talked about some prices. Let's talk about what's on my mind. First and foremost, huge shout out to Mr. Brian K. Morris. I feel like I'm crowding you. I am crowding you guys a little bit. Give me just a second. I realize, why the show suddenly feels a little more intimate. Let me give you guys some breathing room because you guys like the breathing room. So let's just do that. We'll just step back, brighten up the room. I didn't realize I was in so close. It happens. It's an ADD thing. But friends, unless you like me snuggled up, you know what? Let me know. Do you prefer the framework a la BKM, or do you like a little bit more Nick in your life? Anyhow, we got to put a shout out because one, Brian put out a wonderful program this morning. He may still be putting it out. That's one thing he's got is stamina. But Brian has fallen into a habit that I fall into as well. It's one of the reasons we get along. It's a little too much self-defamating, a little too hard on our, dropping the joke bomb on our own head to get the laughs of others. Now, see, one of our great habits, for those of us who give a little more than you, is that we have a habit, and it's a flaw, and I'm going to admit it, of lighting ourselves on fire to keep other people warm. There are better ways, and we have to watch it. Because what people don't realize sometimes is we're putting out a lot more juice to a lot more people. And when we have to prioritize others instead of, somebody who thinks they're getting it, they lash out. And I think that's because they're used to being treated with more than maybe we can always give. So part of what I want to talk about is make sure you guys are keeping your own cup full a bit. Okay? A lot of what happened to me and a lot of what's happened to some other people, my buddy Richie comes into mind because I'm going to name names and drop truth on you guys because it's my show and I can, is that we're out there and we give so much, we don't leave enough and we suffer for it. And if the most horrific thing I could think of is if we're held accountable for the crimes we do unto ourselves. Ponder that. So that's part of what I want to talk to. But let's get into accountability. My accountability for this last weekend has been a little odd. A lot of this week has been spent reaching out to connections I made at RegionCon. And so I'm at you got to cast your bread back out on the water and wait to see what comes back to you, So I was doing that for a lot of reaching out. We're trying to get things set up and arranged for LaunchCon, which while it's a ways out, I like to make sure all my I's are dotted and T's are crossed, so that the closer it gets to an event, the better it is. So that real soon we'll probably look up booking the rooms so that we get a better rate. This is the method we use, and it works really well. Long-term prep. Now there are some new events coming down the pipe. I know that Ryan's going to be at Castle Perilous for Free Comic Book Day, which is always a big deal. I'm going to have to look around to see if any of the stores are participating in it locally, and if I have to do a big old haul. I may have to do a big old haul to celebrate Mother's Day. That's fine too. I also, in the actual home life thing, that's very important. We're coming up on the big item throwout day, where we can throw away chairs or couches or broken things. And we have a lot of stuff that needs to get moved out that, either broke during some of the moves, or some more of the remains of the couch that I destroyed with a sledgehammer. Yes. One thing is, I've gotten to the point where I try to spare spiders. I do my level best to catch them in the official bug catching jar and release them outside. But I will utterly wreck, furniture that has stepped up at this point. I have no tolerance. So I have to get some large items out so I can redo how my house is and get back that sense of moving, of forward progress. So that's what we're working on right now. It means this week's going to be a lot of kind of strenuous physical stuff. I am okay with that. I am certainly here for that. But it may delay some of the other stuff. Likewise, in a bit of peak, I went to share the one-page RPG that I made many, many years ago, and Amazon decided that it couldn't process a single-page PDF. It just couldn't do it. Now, I am not sure where the original Word document on this project is. I'll have to keep searching, but since I have to reformat it anyway, I'm going to expand it, illustrate it, and keep the original title and make it a little tiny book RPG. Very inexpensive, simply to get people playing. I may even tweak it to be 5th Ed compatible-ish. We will see. I hope this helps folks and gets more people gaming, because that's always my goal. Now, we've talked a bit about my accountability. We've talked a bit about what I've done. I've done some more stuff, and I can't wait to hear what you've done. I do have to talk about something else, and I want to. We had a point of conversation. So I want to know. Last time, I believe I asked. No, that was for Friday. I asked about your how you maintain accuracy versus aesthetic in your creations, and Bonser took that as a personal question, so he volunteered to be on the show. And, especially somebody I know who's been on the show a few times, I'm very happy to have back, because it's nice to catch back up. And I certainly don't mind guests, preferably on Wednesdays, because, Mondays and Fridays, I don't like to step on Nita and Daphne's toes. There's no arrangement. They've told me they have no problem with it, but I consider it a courtesy to both them out of professional respect and friendship, and to my audience, because I know there's a lot of crossover. And people, I've always believed when somebody says, you have to choose, what? Yes, I already got that. Okay. You have to choose between me and them, hard line. I usually walk away from the person who's trying to force me to choose, because usually there's some ego behind it. And so that's going on. And that leads us, I want to talk ego in creatives, because I have a friend, I don't know if they're in the chat yet. I have not looked into the chat. I like to catch. You guys like my initial reaction, so I try to keep my chat not something I'm looking at until it's there. And my name's Alec, an incredible artist, and there are aspects of what Alec does I can learn from. They're really cool people. Now, I've mentioned this, and it's like, well, they're younger than you, Nick, substantially. And I'm like, yes. I can learn from people younger than me. I certainly learn from people older than me. Oftentimes, I find that I learn wisdom from people older than me and new techniques and ideas from people younger than me. Not always, but that's one of the ways that breaks down. And there is a hazard because on both sides, I see a tremendous lack of respect and discussion. And gosh darn it, I'm going to do something about it because, again, it's my show and I can. A lot of the times you'll see the older folks, and I'm starting with you because y'all know better, because you were young, who will revere their generational influences and totally disregard the influences of others. And there is a danger of becoming developmentally, I don't want to say delayed because that's a medical term, but where you lock in on a certain period. And I think we've all known somebody like this. The guy who is, or woman who is stuck in the 80s or the 90s or the aughts or whatever. They're stuck in, or the 70s. They pick one period and they just lock in and they refuse to allow anything new to affect them. They just sort of hard and solidify. And I think that's why humanity would never be comfortable with immortality, because we pick a period and we just lock in. But the people who prosper the most, I find, walk through the time in their lives and they take what they've learned. And there's always a level of critical thought in interests, in music, in variety, in food, where trying new things, trying new ideas does more to expand who you are without degradation. Now, there are art styles I prefer, and there are periods in time where there are aspects I have a lot of nostalgia for, but there's also some great new stuff and some great stuff long before my time. Likewise, we can learn a lot from our elders, and we can learn a lot from the younger people. And I think it's high time people put that aspect of ego aside. You know, I went to, at the time it was PNC, Purdue North Central. It's now PNW and feels like an entirely different place, not just because changing the name, but background stuff. But I went to school. I was really blessed to. It was considered a satellite campus, a very small satellite campus, especially at the time. There are more buildings now than when I was there. But with young people, I mean, you had high schoolers who were coming in for honors credits, and you had older people, and I mean retirees who were taking classes because they always wanted to, and working folks who they're doing their full-time job and coming and taking classes to make a better life. And I talked to a few, and some of them are, I feel bad because I'm the only person over 40 in this room, and most people are younger than me by 20 years. And in some cases they're older than the professors. And age is a trap when you use it as a single assessor, both for good or bad. Because just because somebody had more time doesn't mean they've done more with it. There's a Haywood Banks song that's called "I'm Older Than a Lot of Famous Dead Guys." And it has the lyrics, I'm older than a lot of famous dead guys. A lot of famous dead guys didn't live as long as me. Oh, sure, they got a lot more accomplished in a lot less time. But now they're dead, and what good does that do you? Now, the humor of that, and I'm trying to avoid the really catchy kind of lyric chorus, but the humor in that is you can learn from the writings and thoughts of a 32-year-old Benjamin Franklin and of a 60-year-old Benjamin Franklin. You can learn. I learn things. I run games for teenagers and less, and I learn things at those games. You know that? I mean, I learn things about the world. I learn things about what people want. I learn things about what's going on and what matters to them. And from it, I can extrapolate a lot of what's coming. And it's ironically because while we are in a time of financial problem, and we are in a time of real political concern, if you speak to the young people right now, we are in a time of a level of acceptance I physically cannot imagine living in as a youth, because it was so radically different. It in many ways it's almost paradise compared for for certain things, for levels of acceptance. One of the tragedies is a lot of the threats of violence that I incurred on a large scale are much more prominent and thought of, and that's tragic too. But my point is, a lot of people I know, and a lot of people who are either at the peak of their field or were nearly at the peak and feel like they lost it, you can learn from them. This is why I bring such a diverse lot to the show. I know Nevermind the Furthermore was originally geared almost exclusively to authors and the creators of comic books, a bit. The reason I bring so many diverse people here is because I support all creatives, and I support people who are in their 80s, and I support people who are in their teens. And if we can all learn from each other in a positive environment, we all gain. Because young folks, the old folks know stuff. And we a lot of the generation that's coming up now are dealing with the effects of a slightly older generation that didn't. They stopped listening and they lost the ability to know stuff. I believe capability and capacity in any form is one of the neatest, most elegant, wonderful things a person can have. Far more than even physical aesthetics, because we have some very attractive people, male and female, in our circles. And I'm comfortable saying that. I'm an artist. It is my duty and privilege to expound and understand beauty in all its myriad forms. But if we make sure that we can learn more of the stories from more of the people, we have more of an idea what's going on. And mechanically, it expands our audience. So we can be better than that. Now, I know I've kind of got preaching, got a little harpy here, and I apologize if I overstep. But I'm going to go to the comments, and we're going to see. And then, because I went right through my 15-minute commercial break, I'll start hitting the comments about 6 minutes or so. I'll throw an ad up, and we'll go, because I talked a little long. I've got a lot on my mind. So let's pop through the comments, and I'm going to kind of speed through the greetings, because you guys are greeting each other. You're not actually talking to me. Morning, Richie. Okay, Rich had to go early. That's okay. Good luck on the doctor's appointment. Accountability. Got a lot of notes for stories to keep in mind. Keep over to OneNote as well. Scribed an idea for potential secret, for one of my fantasy world. Rich, you've fallen back off the wagon, bud. Beginning, middle, end. Make a story, finish it. You like Neil Gaiman? What's that? Start a story, finish it. Just start a story, finish it, Rich. Morning, folks. A happy Monday. Got a meeting at job site at 9:30, so I won't be here long. Well, Joe kept an eye on the thing because I was running late due to some computer things and almost started the show. Huge thanks to Joe. His accountability got a new member of IndieCD to set up. Wonderful. Just waiting for their info. Social media site is up and ready to go. Head to social. Ooh, time to get out my notepad. I'm going to have to go to IndieCD for this one. social.indiecd.org to sign up. That means I need to do some of that. Continued still working a few bugs out for sign up, but I'll be monitoring to add that people in manually. You are awesome, Joe. Also going to work on getting posts that are made in the social portion to show up on regular IndieCD. Wonderful. But Joe just went as, hey, let's slowly start building something to offset, say, the Book of Faces. Hey, Joe, greetings. Wonder if it's going to be a Monday for tech. Hopefully not. No, I had to do a reboot, but I planned it, so I was in on time, even with the second one. Morning. Oh, I apologize for the train you may be hearing in the background. Hey, Donna. Hey, Duna. Donna. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Donna. The Big D's in the house. Anyway, although I'm backstage currently, just in case. Thank you. It's showtime. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Kelly. The Rembrandt Stratagem says, what? Why aren't you buying this book? This is an amazing book. If it's not out yet for sale, you should buy it. It's phenomenal. Good morning, Kelly. What I'd love to see, Kelly, hold on. I know it's expensive as heck, but I realize why the Rembrandt Stratagem feels familiar to me. That needs to be a full cast audiobook, possibly presented like a radio show. That's the best way to explain that book. I've been trying to find it. When you're reading it, it feels like you're listening to an old-timey radio show. It's just that good. We got greetings. Everybody's greeting each other. Greetings. Hi, Josh. Glad to hear you in the chat. Final bit of accountability, working on streaming server. I was able to do a stream the other day, working on the web interface for it still. Oh! Yes. Hoping to get it so comments will show up in StreamYard. I would love that. Hello, Dawn. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Josh. Hey, Donna. Wonders if I'm sending a test message for you. Okay, I've got one from Facebook. Oh, dang, Donna. No. Hello. Save the best for last. Da-da-da-da. Hey, Josh. See, everybody's happy to see Josh. Well, I've been searching for an alternative FB. If I find it, I'll let everyone know. I'm not getting anywhere with FB. My problem is FB is great for what it's intended, for staying connected with your friends. It gets overwashed when you have too many commercial interests. And I have a lot of artists and stuff I'm now following. And I realize, because I set my social media on Facebook is way too open. So I have to recalibrate. And Frog G's in the house. Hey, Frog, glad you hopped on by. All things Nick. Everybody's hell. You know what? Well, I need an ad anyway, so let's run Frogs. It's a little loud, but it's a good ad. It is.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life, stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo
voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero must roam the underworld to regain his humanity and win back the woman he loves.
Yeah, I love that comics concept, and it's just such a unique thing. Plus, the commercial is great. I want to say that was done by Pedro Ang. If it wasn't, well, people should reach out to Pedro anyway. He's good people. And let's find where we are. Hail Frog. Hail Joe. Kelly, IndieCD is social.IndieCD is live, still working bugs out. Otherwise, it's ready for people to sign up. I actually, for all the plugging I do on IndieCD, I need to do some work on my assorted sites. What I need to do is have a computer day, and it's cold and nasty, and I'm a little sore, so it may be a good computer day. And Frog is hailing everybody on all frequencies. Good to see you, Frog. Hi, Frog. Where's that Witzman dude? I am kind of surprised he hasn't been chatty, but he's probably still hanging with, nope, we got comment dump. 1 second. Clarify that. He must be hanging with Brian. Morning, lurker mode engaged. Good morning, Cindy. I'll run your ad in a bit. BKM's, Frog's dropping BKM's YouTube, where I just was. Rising Tide lifts all moods. Yes, it does. Hi, Cindy, says Frog. Joey's being a good big brother. He took his brother to be scoped this morning. Oh, well, that was kind of him. He deserves a cookie. Cindy, nice talking with you yesterday. I'm so glad to hear that people are doing crosstalk. That's probably due to me joining before your show on mobile. Hello. Well, that happens. Say hi for us. Well, people are showing up for the meeting. Time to hop. Have a good meeting, Joe. Bounce, Joe. Nice save, Don Lefty. Accountability. No, not today. That happens. The weather fronts that are coming through are wreaking havoc on some of us with more colorful joint issues. Accuracy in a certain story is what keeps pushing me down rabbit holes of research and making me paralyzed with doing it right. It's a fantastical twist on it. Then don't do it right. There will always be errors. Do you have it written? Okay. Right. Start to finish, and then you can research and tweak little things if you need to. But you're at the just get it written done. Get a first draft, start to finish. If you're worried about any of the details, you've added a lot to the universe. Let me put it this way, guys. Anytime you add magic to any given universe, everything starts to get hinky. Everything becomes malleable. But by the time you read that, I'll be like, of course. That's why he's safe. But if you come back and check, you can know I harangued you a bit. Thanks for the link, Joe. I appreciate you. We all appreciate Joe Bachman. And if you don't, you should. You should follow him on YouTube, too. Well, I've decided now it's too cold to stand around waiting for everyone else, so I'm back for now. Wonderful. In fact, I'm like a fat kid in dodgeball. I got to catch this on the rerun. That's fine. No problem, Kelly. Right. See you, Rich. All right, need to hop for now. Remember, smash that like button. Thank you, guys. I am fighting the algorithm hard these days, and I'm just trying to put out better content. I'm going to have some more guests in the near future. I'd like to reach out to some people and see if I can get them on promoting some of their games and talking about game design, as well as literary works. Plus, any of you all who have something new coming up, reach out. Let me be your song. See you, Frog. Good morning. Good morning, Hojo. How are you? That is so good. Hojo's an incredible writer. The Mythicals is a great universe. And man, that is one of the most BA commercials I have ever seen. I have to get you the link so that you can send it to me so I can promote it. Hi, Hojo. That's over on Fund My Comic, where you can get great things, including the Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, the role-playing game. Y'all thought I wasn't going to plug it? Y'all thought I wasn't going to promote Hybrids, the Sons of God, the role-playing game. Oh, yeah. Get it. Get it on digital. You don't have to throw a lot of money at it. Nick, the fully edited edition comes out in July. I'll take your advice and check out the audiobook idea as well. Yes! You nailed it. A red Rembrandt stratagem in that voice. It feels the Rembrandt stratagem. But no, because last night, okay. I have this thing where a sliding scale of insomnia will hit me on nights, and then I find out later that either there is an astronomical event going on, like it's a insert color here moon. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups for a second there. Like it's a blue moon or a harvest moon, or the moon's really full. Those ones usually get me. Or it happens to be a holiday, oftentimes one of the seasonal change / pagan holidays. Last night was no different. I was up very late, very motivated to get some specific things done. And Mandy and I, that's my beloved wife, Amanda, and we were working on actually sheathing magic decks because we'd done a bunch of other work. And we were sitting there and tinkering with magic decks. And then she went to bed and Xander went to bed and I was still awake. So I was listening to old-timey radio shows and I'm up. I found out it was Walpurgis night, so of course I was up. It doesn't surprise me. It's like, that makes sense. But I'm listening to Detective Richard Diamond. I'm like, this is great stuff. Richard Diamond and the Bloody Idol, I think, was, or the Cursed Idol. It was just a great story. Well told, well written, extremely well executed. Theater of the mind. I live for that sort of thing. But and as I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is how the Rembrandt stratagem needs to be told, because it really, the book feels like a noir / pulp radio program, and I want to see it done. And Kelly says the fully edited edition comes out in July. I'll take your advice and check out the audiobook idea as well. Sweet Kelly. Whoops. I wrote the book as if the reader were watching an old-time Republic black and white movie serial that preceded the main. That makes sense in the early days. I love those things. Zorro was phenomenal. The old Flash Gordons. Yes, that explains it. So I'm in the angle. Hi, Joe D. McPhee. Haven't seen you in a while. You know what? I think I'm just going to have to reach out and just, because I got to run Joe's short commercial because I haven't fully edited his long commercial. I may try to edit his long commercial down a bit to make it easier to run.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Like my new bottle, it's great for everything but carbonation. It's absolutely abhorrent for carbonation. I'll let the physics fans among you look at this bottle and understand why. But I know a trailer that I can confirm Pedro had a hand in. I don't think I got it to upload into my secret folder. So message me through probably Twitter, Hojo, and I will send you the link to the secret ad folder. And I say this to everyone who puts into the ad folder and everyone who takes out, there's a hint there. If you want, that folder exists for the broadcasters that I know to be able, I'm running a show. Here's an ad for so-and-so, I can promote them. That's why I do it, because I'm not charging people for their ads. So if you want to do it for free to help people out, it's just a way of serving the community. Morning Frog. Hope you got your yelling accountability pipes warmed up. Oh, I hope you heard. Accuracy can suck it. Just make it look cool. Bless you, Johnny. You are a god amongst men, because you know what? I have no problem with the rule of cool when it is. The rule of cool cannot be lightly applied. When it's only lightly applied, you get something that can feel a little immersion breaking and runs the hazard of making the series jump the shark. Going back to how Fozzie could hit the wall and start the music up. The Fonz is great. But when you take the rule of cool to its natural, elevated level, you get something like the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie, where every decision was, we love the property, how freaking cool can we make what we do next? And you can tell. The Tifa fight scene, oh god, I can't remember the guy with the hammers. When she sticks the landing on the wall and the flowers go up, is one of those images that just hits. When you have a infinite, when you are drawing or doing animation in a series, or you're writing, your special effects budget has an infinite amount of money. You have an infinite special effects budget. Use that bad boy. And that's one thing Johnny does. Johnny makes cool stuff, and Johnny needs to make more stuff, get something a bit more narrative, so that I can promote ways for you to make Johnny. Good morning, Eric Hawkins. Now, Eric Hawkins, the creator of the Zombiful World of Oz, just did an escape room with some of the people he knew who actually become zombies in his book, based on The Wizard of Oz. Apparently he succeeded. Apparently it was a good time. But my whole thought was, the way that should properly end is with them devouring you. So you almost need to do a one-shot comic, or just, a fan page of you and them going through this thing, having a blast, and then at the end have them zombie out and devour you as a means of promoting your book, because that's too neat a book, and that's too great a shady idea that I had, so I have shared it. Use it or not, it is at your will. But I'm glad you're here. Please hit the like button, folks. Hey, Joe D and Johnny. Hi, Donna. Update on the Witzman dude. Just dropped his brother off and we'll be home soon. Exquisite. Accountability. Getting closer to finished primetime Saturday night number 4. I have Nick on me about the RPG and on me about the RPG, and BKM on me about trading cards. Is this growing or just specific wants? Okay, here's the deal. I don't know. I do not know how well it's going to do, but I will guarantee something. All right? And I will put this in writing. You won't make a cent on anything you don't publish. You and I worked really hard to get that game set up. And you sent me a PDF of your cleaned up version and everything you wanted for that game put together. It was beautiful, and then you went off. You may make more on an edited version. You may make more on modules, but you won't make a dang cent until you take it and you put it out there. Gall, I swear, you and Richie and a few others are going to get caught in Perfectionist Anonymous. You have to try some things. Sometimes they fail. Okay, I have books that I've published that have not sold diddly. I have a couple that I realize I need to get out desperately because my ADD mind juggles them. But until you publish it, you can't make money. So get that stuff out there. Okay? And, BKM says trading cards. If you're not sure of doing them as a production, do them as a crowdfunding tier and see if there's interest. You run off a few, limited edition. If people are really interested in the set and it catches off, you still have the files. If it doesn't, you're not out much. But play with the ideas you have. The worst that can happen is it doesn't work. But nothing will change if you don't make the change. Woo! And we got greetings for Hojo. Accountability. I have my editor lined up for everything. The next issue and the RPG. Wonderful. Hi, Donna. So just get it out there. See if it works. You already paid me. I got what's going to come out of that game for me, most likely. I mean, unless you go huge and you're like, I want to thank Nick Tockert, which I will gladly accept anything else. That's always an open door. But see if you can make money. You have a niche audience. You have an interesting niche audience. And even if you can't make money now, having statistics lined up that thoroughly for your comic characters means if you ever decide to go to the next level and have somebody say program a fighting game based on your world, based on Primetime Saturday Night, you can hand them the RPG and they'll be able to tweak the stat numbers. It would save just an extremely high amount of time and money in development because the numbers are all crunched. They just have to convert it into whatever system, program in the behaviors and all that. And since you use DAZ, you already have 3D rendered figures of all your characters already done. So all you need is somebody who could run it through either a programmer or get some kind of template program that lets you make fighting games and go with it. I bet, man, Unity's there. Unreal. I bet you could crank out a fighting game and use the information in that to program the damage values. Once you have the numbers, play with them. Morning, Donna. Hey, Kelly. Warning, Wispen Dude is in the castle, maybe here. I see your warning. Hi, Carl! Ooh, I guess I'm being a little accountable as I'm coming in. I'm in listening mode and doing stuff while I'm around the house. That's still doing stuff. You're lapping the version of you on the couch. Morning, everybody. What an amazing idea. I like that. Yes! Do it! I live to be people's muses. I live to go, here's an idea. Do something cool. Make money on it. Have fun. I like that a lot. Even if it's just something you send to your Patreon or something. Woo! Lurker mode disengaged. Howdy, y'all. Hi, Cindy Koepp. Good seeing you yesterday. I finished Fur Coat Bear and a dragon hat. Getting ready for Demicon this weekend. Awesome. Joe, I know a couple sources for printing trading. Oh. You know, if you have suggestions, Eric, and you care to just slip those links into, say, my Facebook or Twitter or whatever chat you have access to me by, I wouldn't mind them at all. I may have some side ideas too, especially since I have some game properties, and I'm wondering if doing it as a deck builder might be easier. Thank you. You'll find Nick's art at deviantart.com. I failed at projects many times, and look, I'm still alive. Absolutely. And there's different definitions of failure. For example, big snompy robots. is a great game. And when I'm at the right gaming convention with my target audience, which a lot of times is kids, it sells. Does it sell online? Not a lot, because I haven't found the right way to advertise it other than me doing what I do, which means I have to do some stuff. I've had books go dormant and then pop right back up, so don't feel bad about it. Tune into the Historical Fencing Guild on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Yes, let's do that. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Support Nick's efforts to train people. YouTube.com/@the-Historical-Fencing-Guild. Yes. Oops. That's the wrong link. Patreon.com/the-Historical-Fencing-Guild. And don't forget to tip your host. Banner. Brand. Cindy Koepp General Promo. Hi. Okay. Support Cindy Koepp. She's just an amazing creator. And she's to the point where she's just too much to dare I say, merely be an author, because she's more than an author. She has so many things, what is it? A polyglot? Polymath? There's a word for it for somebody who does a whole lot of things, besides being simply a Renaissance woman of extreme talent and that we are privileged to know. But the RPG will be put out, says Joe. It seems that everyone except you, Nick, who is looking forward to it, are adding more wants to it. It scares me. I just need... No. You don't understand. There's a misunderstanding here. So I'm going to stop and say this. Hardcover pricing. I know you need that. Get the core book out. A lot of people say, I want this, I want that. Get the core book out. In the core book, put a little link where people who are interested, and you can only find this link from the book itself, where they can make suggestions and requests and see how it does. After it's been out a while, then worry about the next sets of expansions and your pacing. But you also have to give it time to rest. This is something the big companies, especially like WotC, lost track of in their era, in their desire to be greedy and make money. They'll release books, and TTG, not TTGs, TCGs, trading card games, too fast for the market. Get your book, get it out, take it. You need to know those rules inside and out, because you are the face of that book. You are the face people associate with the characters. And then you run games. Okay? And you use the book to promote the comic. And in the comics, in the back, you add your little ad where you're not advertising Batman. You're advertising the RPG, and you get a gestalt going. Okay? Try it. I have to redo a bunch of things along that line myself. Check out Volcana 2, patreon.com/Brian Morris. Yes, yes, yes. Also, never underestimate the importance of addendums, annuals, whatever. Just seem to call a company that sold something just about every year for a game. Right, but make it an event. Pick a time so that you can hype up the new thing, and you make it annual so people know, hey, the new module for Primetime Saturday Night is coming out. Because anytime you add new characters, you're going to need to put them aside and figure out their power levels or pay me to do it, and then make an addendum. Okay? And let's see. Find award-winning pulp stories at Amazon.com/Brian K. Morris. Yes, I know it was TSR. I was being coy. Oh, yeah. TSR was they made great products. They had their shadiness, especially after it split, but I don't think TSR ever set Pinkertons, but I am torn on that situation because WotC, who bought out everything from TSR and bought out Magic, because I don't think even Garfield's even involved with that anymore. Anyway, I love Magic the Gathering. I've played since Alpha. I'm old enough that I still don't think the edge of the cards feel quite right, because shortly after Alpha they changed the curvature on the corners of the cards. I'm that old. I've had to rebuild my collection somewhat three times from fires and stuff and just theft. So, yeah, I get it. But like Magic, like D&D, which is a great product, people love it. I love the product. I don't love the company. And maybe finally it's going to be enough that the company realizes Hasbro needs to do some changes there. That's my hope, because gaming should be fun. It should be inexpensive. And it should be available for everybody. Inclusive is a good word. Sorry, I'm getting a little off topic. Heroic Trolls and Cursed Cocktail sometimes, but not at the same time. SL Roland. The box set idea scares me because there's investment territory of an unproven game. Well, not unproven in the IP, but just unknown to the masses. That's why I'm saying don't go big with it. Start small and ease it in. Because what you do is you release the core rulebook. It's a one volume. They get it. They love it. If they love it, then you start releasing the primetime annuals. Or, you do your version of WrestleMania, and whenever that event is going on in game, in the comic book plots, whenever you get to a cyclic tournament, during that event, a comic event, you release the next chunk of the game to keep people hyped. You don't have to do a big box set. And that's the thing. A lot of fans will eagerly want you to do everything, but they won't want to put the money where their mouth is. Or they're like me, where they're just too dang broke to put their money where their mouth is. So you have to give ease in. And what that means is we want this. Okay, well, you show you want this. I'll make that. But you got to keep the carrot in front of them. Keep the carriage moving forward. Go get help for the hurting. That's Victoria Adams. Check out Royal Cruise. Has an art station and a deviant art. Get Animal Eye merch. 1 through 3 at bit.ly/bearpub, which is great. And you can get cool sci-fi publications from bearpublications.com. Info sent, good sir. Thank you very much, Eric Hawkins. I hear my phone pinging, and I'm assuming that's out. You'll want to use some of DeviantArt. Oh, Roll's doing his art, customized art through DA. I'm set up to do it. Well, I have that service, but I haven't gotten it set up. When RPG is out, it will be advertised in the story. I will be using the Disney method of not promoting. Excellent. Thanks, Hawk. Eric, 19 of 24 pages for Animal Eye number 5 are drafted. Probably won't get much of it done this week as I'm getting ready for Friday through Sunday. Awesome. Switch to Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami is so much better. This is obvious sarcasm, by the way. I'm a Castlevania fan. There could be a whole show discussing what Konami has done to the creator of that particular series and the unwise decisions that they've made. Go order a dragon or other critter from CKOEPP.com. Suitable arrangement is showing up for Patreon for subscribers at CKOEPP. That's patreon.com/CKOEPP. Check out art and art for vintage cartooniness from the desk of Small Press Publisher. A number of people are pushing me to produce Stellaris, a playable game. I finally got done, and I still have 18 copies of that game because people didn't get it to support the chaos. Don't hold up a project because people are asking for a thing included. Get it out there. This is exactly why I never tell anyone that a book is a part of a series. They will claim they want to wait until it's finished. Yeah, that happens a lot. I thought his customized stuff was on Subscribestar. God, I've done this a lot. Okay, cool. Looks like we've caught up. We are at the hour mark. Lots of chatting. Busy hopping chat today. So, guys, I will see you Wednesday for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. And this perfectly ends Cindy's break. I have to catch up with you later. Stay safe out there. Wow. Wow, you dropped that on me an hour. Wow. Wow. You're going to drop Blackluster. Whoo, we'd have to cross mechanics. And honestly, that being said, my favorite card in Magic, being the Fencing Ace, is not a terribly powerful card. I have no illusions of it. It's just something I identify with. So, that's plot versus power level. But then again, I don't have my catapult turtle launch my big shield guardsman over the castle either. So we'll see. Lurker mode disengaged. Right, McKay. The Jade just had that problem. Yeah, and that's the tragedy too when you're doing a series of people who will say that and then they won't be able to afford it when it's all together. Now, I am an omnibus guy and I am a trade paperback guy, so in all honesty, that's a thing. But we'll talk more about that. Maybe that'll be Wednesday's discussion. Have a great day. See you all Wednesday. Laters. Have a great day, all. Be good, everyone. You can't make me. Magic versus Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm intrigued as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. Oh, God. Guys, it's too late in the show to pop this big of a conversation. We'll try. Maybe when I have more time tomorrow, Wednesday. We will see. I can drop a Dark Lord morning song. Yeah, see, no. They're totally different power systems and scales. It would take a lot of calibrating. We will see. I may research. Until Wednesday, you guys have a great day. Thank you. Sorry for the low number of ads this time. We're just getting into it. The conversation is really good. I will see you all Wednesday. Please buy my books. Please support the people in the stuff. And, keep creating. Because as long as you finish something, You can edit it. You can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I'm looking at you guys. You know who you are.